through the world, over land and over sea. I see different cultures and different people's ways. I was born where the sun never sets and never rises. I was born where the heat is like a sun.
Yes, a beautiful day to Nigerians, the good people of Lagos and Ifako. And this is Ifako Radio live from Ifako Jai. Lagos, we want to say, how are you doing there wherever you are? And we also want to say congratulations to all our children as they celebrate their special one today, May 27, which is Children's Day. We wish them all the best as they journey. May the Lord go with them. I am yours truly, the Mayor of Lagos City, Olanireti Olusegun, on Ifako Radio this afternoon, and the program is People and Politics. And today I won't be doing that alone. I have with me the Secretary to the Local Government, popularly known as Ojulowo, Honorable Kola Omeshere. Honorable, welcome you to People and Politics on Ifako Radio.
Thank you, Uncle. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to come here, do my part to the growth of Ifako Radio.
God bless you so much. We sincerely appreciate that. But before we get started properly, I just want people to hear their own view, and you will as well make your own contributions. If the gods are to blame, we're talking about people and politics, and when we're talking about politics, we're talking about people. The two are interlocked, so there's no way we can detach them from each other. Looking at it from the religious perspective, the social, moral, or the politicking itself. Recently, there is this issue that has been going around now. I think basically it was in the news during the last week. And the headline says COVID-19 fraud. Osun vows to probe disgraced monarch. And that is why I want to know if the gods are to blame or the government should be blamed. And the story says the Osun State government has said it will wait for the outcome of Oba Joseph Oloyede's trial for COVID-19 relief fund fraud before taking action. It, however, said despite its respect for traditional institutions, investigation will be done and steps taken on the matter. Further, that Oloyede, who is the Akwetu of Ikwetu Modu, a pastor, Edward Oluwasanmi, are facing possible prison sentences in the United States after they pleaded guilty to charges of multi-million-dollar COVID-19 relief fund. The monarch, a US-based accountant and information system expert, was appointed Akwetu in July 2019. He was arrested alongside Oluwasanmi in early 2024 for fraudulently obtaining $4.2 million in COVID-19 relief funds, to cut the story short. And another offer for that matter. And the headline, I stumbled on this one on social media, and the headline says Federal University of Agriculture. There is a Yoruba writer there. It says Moki gbogbo ọmọ Fiditi nílé lóko àtìlẹ́yìn òdì. That is extending greetings to all Fiditi indigents, both in within and in diaspora. The story says, I am sure that you all have heard by now, through one channel or the other, that our bid to attract a University of Agriculture to our great town has ended in an entirely unanticipated and unwanted manner. I'm afraid I have to use this platform to confirm your fears and all you have heard. Further, that the university is no longer coming to Fiditi. This is due to many factors, chief of which is the heavy influence of those who are more powerful than us, that is the people of Fiditi. In light of this, I first and foremost want to console all the sons and daughters of Fiditi who are anguished by this development. It shows that you are indeed from this land, and may this land prosper you. Secondly, I would like to most sincerely thank and appreciate those who have reached out to me since the news broke. Esheon Aku Oro. However, I want to use this opportunity to state that all is not lost and that there is light at the end of this tunnel. Further, that I think I missed that. Pardon me, please. And it says, please permit me not to go into further detail at this time. Okay, I am pleased to inform you that the presidency has assured us of fair compensation, not with a university, but with another institution of higher learning to replace the opportunity we have lost. What am I trying to say? This statement was also signed by Oba Shakiru Oyewole Adekola Oyelere Ajani Edutu Agbadewolu Onifiditi of Fiditi. That is Fiditi. and the other one is Ifako. They are both traditional leaders. And the process of electing traditional leaders now, it seems that things are changing. So the question, looking at these two characters, where do we go from here? And how do we even get here? There is no way we can detach the government from the process of election now. But from time immemorial, it has been strictly traditional. Now we have these two kings in place. You see the character of one, the efforts put in place to attract development to their community, and that is Fiditi. The other one, Ifako. Something has happened to them. May even not happen to us. So should we blame the gods or the government?
Well, thank you, my host. Let me start by saying that you've done really well setting this in our locality.
Thank you so much.
And we'll continue to grow this because this is ours.
Yes.
Going by your question, I want to ask another question rhetorically.
Okay.
Are the gods aware also?
That's a very technical
if you say the gods are to be blamed or not, are they aware of the royalty that we're talking about? Are they aware that we have a king in place or one Oba in place? So it's about personality, it's about your figure, and it's also about who do you know. So it's about your influence. So that's what has led us to the both ways we find out the opposites and the other version we've seen. Going back to the Kwetu Oba, you should know that how did he get into that throne? How did he get installed? You get to know it's about man no man. It's about money play. So whoever is talking about the scam in of COVID, she also asks who among the chiefs, the kingsmen that partook in that COVID scam too, because it's a chain.
Sure.
Fraud is a chain. Fraud is a chain. We only blame those who didn't benefit from fraud. If you see a family shouting, go and check. Maybe their family is also not benefiting. So there's no way the Oba will even get there. It's not the corrupt practice is not one day practice. Exactly. It's something you have gotten used to. So the Oba must have gotten used to that, and that's what have got him to that throne. Definitely must have bribed the way to that throne. So the question goes back again that are the Obas, are the gods aware too?
So that is a rhetorical question for each and every one of us, and also the government of this country. Are the gods also aware of these developments? And if the gods are not aware, I want to believe the government is aware.
Yes.
So they have a question to answer. But coming back to you, sir, Ojulowo, where does the name come from, Ojulowo, and what does it symbolize?
Well, I used to say something in the past that what you stand for, either people see you in that light or not, has to be genuine,
Definitely.
trustworthy, and your integrity has also be in place, regardless of the other way people see you.
Sure.
So over the years now, I can say more than about 2 decades, I've been using that name Ojulowo Omo Omishore, Ojulowo Omo Omishore, since the year 2010 thereabouts. I just feel that when people have started projecting my family in a bad light about a certain political issue that happened in those years, I like people say, oh, this is from the family of. I said that okay, mine is Ojulowo Omo Omishore. I know my family is valuable, trustworthy, genuine, and family with integrity. So I pick up that name even before I got into politics proper. So I've been using that to project my family name, that my name is Kola Ojulowo Omo Omishore. So that's how I started. And when I dabbled into politics in the early 2002-3, I was like, okay, let me use that to project my name. Until recently, when somebody told me that this is your locality, you are son of the soil too. So why not make the name Ojulowo Omo Ojokoro? You have grown beyond your family name to a community. So if you are dealing with the people in Ifako, Ojokoro, and Lagos and environment, you should be branded as the son of that. So I'm saying that I'm projecting Ifako. Anywhere you see me, and you cannot say Ifako in me, then you represent. Yes. So it's the full meaning that in politics now is Ojulowo Omo Ojokoro. So from my family name to the community that I find myself,
all right,
where I'm praying for development also.
Now, Honorable, If you look at it, global challenges now require innovative solutions and creative solutions as well. And that is where you are coming from. When talking about innovation and creativity, you are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you, sir.
I was somewhere yesterday and they were talking about you. And I discovered that a lot of people are sincerely looking up to you, talking about innovations and creativity. And you are doing wonderfully well in that regard.
Thank you, sir.
But why politics? Suddenly you found yourself within the political setting, and some people keep to wonder, why politics?
Well, thank you, my uncle. The truth is, we don't leave things to be done right for the unknown. Most times, I could remember when my dad was in the when I read about his political history and co, right from Osun State, Ile-Ife, when the days of the Awolowo, he was working as a professional, but he never left politics.
Okay.
Because the moment you leave politics, you give it to those who don't even know.
Even mediocres.
Yes, you give it to the mediocres. And people who are mediocres in politics don't know themselves. Because one thing about politics is about time. They feel that when you can devote your time for politics, you are a professional politician. That's why when I came in, a lot of people were like, what are you doing in politics? I said, I'm not a professional politician. I'm a professional in politics. Because the moment we don't become a professional in politics, you don't have anything to ask or to fix. Professional politicians will say, this is the way we've been doing it, and it has to continue that way. But professional in politics, we have to bring people, eggers like you, in there. I know you, even not in politics. I've heard about your brand. I know you're a wordsmith, you're a communicator. I know you're a proven journalist.
Thank you so much.
So, but we play the same politics. What if you sat in here and say, let's leave it for them to do? How do we bring somebody like us that have been in and out to say, how do we address issues that we've been there, age-long issues in politics that we've been finding very difficult to change? But when I got in, it was a little bit difficult because I can't go for the role I also picked up, even though I contested. As a secretary, there are a lot of things that I found that, okay, should be
done properly.
Yes, probably. In terms of how do you even present and be ready for a meeting? You know, we've been in industry, we go for brainstorming, we go for pitches, you go for presentations. You can't come in shabbily, you can't come and present who you don't even know. You want to present to who you don't know, and you want the person to buy your brand. How do you sell your brand properly? You know, when I came in, I like, thank God I had one of the most fantastic chairmen in Lagos, Honorable Ahmed Idudane Tijani, who listened. And that is how we'll be able to do one or two things in Ojokoro and make it look like Ojokoro is out of this world. You know, there was a session I went to represent him at the state, at the civil defense. We were talking about this, like about issues in farming and this and like. We have excuses. We have excuses to say we don't have land. We don't have land. We don't have land. But this same land you talk about that you don't have, you go far away to the north to go and bring their crops. How do you travel down to the north? And you do not travel down to Abeokuta to farm. But you are blaming the northerners for keeping their stocks. And you have a neighbor here, Ogun State, or your state, you can't go there to buy farmland to help you bring farm produce into Lagos. But you want to go to Manuguri, telling them they are holding down
their stocks.
You should now be calculating the cost of transportation, the cost of the security, and every other thing that's bringing issues into development. Because Yoruba Sokoto Jebati Kunuishe. So if you are bringing me on board to work and my stomach is empty, how do I contribute properly? So these are the things that we see that if we leave this politics for people that are professional politicians, we will look like in those days it has been like this. But to allow the question, and it shouldn't be. So we are like paysetters for people who feel that it's so difficult for them to leave their job.
So you're saying if you want a thing done well, you do
it yourself, or you partake.
Good.
You partake.
So the journey so far,
yes.
How has it been? Politically now, how many years will you say you have spent within the political setting?
As a full-time politician or what? Because I've never been a full-time politician. I'll say this.
You've been actively involved in the system.
Okay. If I want to go back to memory lane, in the year 2002, I contested for councillorship.
Okay.
Even I was running my ND days then, as a 22-year-old boy.
Wow.
Then there was nothing like Ojokoro. we were running
Ifako
LGA. So my ward was Ward K then.
Okay.
And in 2003, by God's grace, with the one of the best leaders we have in Ojokoro, Honorable Benjamin Olavinjo, I worked with him on the Congress that bet Ojokoro in 2003 under the Alliance for Democracy,
okay,
as a young boy, even though I was still in school. In 2007, I participated in politics as agents, party agents, ward, school, all those things we've been doing it until the year 2021. That okay, it's right time to also participate fully and let us see where we can take it to. But it's better because that's what I'm benefiting today as a secretary to the local government of Ojokoro, and one who is not aspiring to stop now, because we know the onions, we know the game, and we eventually know how we can input some things there. So if we look at it now, it's over 2 decades.
Wow, that's a wonderful.
It's over 2 decades, and the records are there for those who really want to believe that they want to play politics with it.
So I can say you're one of those that have benefited from Lagos politics.
Yes.
Because no doubt you agree with me, a lot of people intended to occupy the office that you occupy as we speak now. So how has it been? Let's look at the journey so far. As the SLG of Ojokoro FCDA, how has it been? How was the ride to the office? How was it like? How did you emerge?
Well, like you rightly mentioned when I got into the studio, the name is an household name already. You know, over time I've invested my life, my years, investing in the youth. This year is going to be the 20th edition. I'm running Colatun Soccer Initiative in Ojokoro locality. I've never took it outside Ojokoro, not to talk of, oh, he has missed 1 year, he didn't do it. Maybe he just pack it up. I want who can challenge that. We are going to play final next month. Wow. 20th edition of Colatuns. I'm in my 40s. You can deduct that from my age. So over years, I've seen the youth as the Ojola of politics. In those days when I was so younger, following my dad for campaigns and anything, I'll see some boys 4 years. I'll gather them together, buy biscuits for them, roll them. I'll say, in the next 5 years, you'll be mature enough. In the next 5 years, not even I'm also coming. Okay. Yeah, I'm training them that in the next 10 years, you'll be eligible to also vote.
Yeah.
So all these things you are seeing from your brother, Ojulowo, they used to call me Ojulowo, Alamu, all those things on the streets. But if I give them in football, I'll find the reason why they have to do all those bad practices that will not take them to stardom. So I also encourage them that, they've started party registration. Oh yeah, all of us, let's go. All of us, let's go. Today we have crops of them that are in politics. Crops of them that are in politics. So over time, I've used the youth as the bedrock of my own strength in politics, and which really helped during my campaign in 2021. During my campaign, it really helped. So the party leaders were not stressed to choose me as the SLG of Ojokoro when the time came up. Like, oh, this boy has invested in you and the youth wants him, they love him. Let's bring us a symbol of the youth in the system.
But some people will find that it was as a result of your dad, Honorable Omishore, who also happened to be a former lawmaker in Lagos State. If I am right here, he represented Ojokoro twice at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Some people will find that he was the one that influenced that for you. So how do you react to that?
Well, ẹni tó láṣọ tí kò léèyàn, ìwò ló wà. So it's an honor for me if I have a father like that, because I'm also looking out for some fathers like, I wish this person is also my father.
Wow.
So whoever feels that your father figure is not important in your life, today is Children's Day.
Sure.
So I know my father will look back today and say, I'm proud of this boy. So so today he should know that he's so proud of his son. And I won't take that away from the system, but I will say 90% of where I am today, the strength where I got here was through the effort of some other fathers, not my father. But my father has this ideology. If I go out there to go and sell you, what if I find roadblocks? But it's better for somebody from outside to sell you, say you about your son. That's his own ideology about politics. Because in the year 2002 when I contested, it wasn't him that told me to. I bought form. I still have the sample of the form. even on my phone. So any day the debates come, I can show you. He didn't pay for the form. It was the use of the Ahmedwe Alakoko that said, Odolafe. Even though my dad was supporting his friend for that same week, I contested against my dad's friend that year.
Honorable Johnson, I want us to go on a short music break, and we'll be back here to continue our conversation.
Well done, sir. My camera. Okay, this is the camera. It's a little bang here. Is this set now? No, where's the main bang or something?
I've seen different cultures and different people's ways. I was born when the sun never sets and never rises. I was born when the heat is like a second skin.
Yes, we welcome you back. This is People and Politics on Ifako Radio, and we want you to join us. You can drop your comments, suggestions, recommendations, and if you have questions for the Honorable, on Facebook, it is Ifako Radio, on YouTube, Ifako Radio, on X, Ifako Radio, WhatsApp, Ifako Radio channel, and on Instagram, it is Ifako_radio. And we still have in house the secretary to the local government of Ojokoro LCDA, no other person than Honorable Kola Omishore, the Ojulowo himself. You were saying something about your dad not supporting your ambition then, that he pitched his tent with
His friend in 2002.
his friend. So his friend was also interested in
Yes.
that office. So you contested against your father's friend.
Yes.
And the friend, where is the friend now?
Funny enough, he's left our party to another party. You know, then when my dad supported me, was like, you want a CDA person, you want a community development person, because they found out that, okay, these real politicians are not really helping us. Let's pick somebody from the community that who knows the problem where the two pitches and go. So that was the reason why he beat with his friend. But I defied the house, and thank God today.
Glory to God.
Yeah.
And looking at it, your dad also happened to be a technocrat, a professional in politics. Same path you have also done. Has there been any challenges for you because you are technocrats?
Yes. One thing is that it's so easy to marry your job with politics. And I will tell you, because that's the other side we need to train. If there are going to be seminars, talk shows about this, because it's not also good to drop politics because of a job. Because if you leave the politics
Yes.
for the mediocres will come back to rule and decide policies that are going to run your business for you. That is the problem there. But the reason why I said it's not that easy when merging the two together. As a creative person, I'm a creative director, proven one. At least then, before I contested, I was managing 3 countries for my organization.
You said 3 countries?
Yes.
Okay.
Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria for Veterans Marketing Competition Group. So I know what I was saying, that when it comes to marrying those, it's not that easy. Sometimes I will like, okay, I want to attend board meeting today. My boss will just say, we have a pitch tomorrow and we have to prepare all night. So most times you want to sleep at the office, but I have to spend extra hour so that I can buy time for politics too.
Okay.
And if I just suppose what my dad did, even though my dad has been investing, participating, but not that full time, he had to resign, retired at the age of 60 before he joined politics fully.
Wow.
So, but we cannot wait till that time before we change things. If we wait till that age, what happened to the future of our children? So that's the reason why you and I and others need to engage, participate in politics as youth of the country.
All right, Honorable, you are part of the present administration.
Yes.
You know, Ojokoro LCDA. How will you rate the administration?
Only àtùpà òkè rí di ara ẹ̀. Òwe tẹ̀yìn àgbà tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ lórí rédíò. We've done fantastically well. You know, some of us that have really been, you know, there's something we call KPI in the industry. Key performance index. We know that if you don't perform, you won't get rated, you won't get promoted. And that has been the index and the yardsticks I've seen in Ojoko that, okay, people are talking about bad roads. How many of this tenure, this regime, this administration fixed?
Okay.
The nooks and crannies, very important. There's an initiative we brought into the system, which I want to rate this government very high. We look at the cost of asphalt, the cost of paving a road in Ojoko Road. It's so very much high that we cannot cover 100 roads in a year. And I don't want to say, I can tell you, in Ojoko as we speak today, we have 735 roads across all roads, registered roads. I stand to be corrected because I have my fact. If you fixed 100 roads out of 705, what happened to the 635? They'll say development didn't reach us. The government is biased. So my chairman, with the initiative of some others like us, we brought an innovation into road fixing, which is called biocompactor. We engaged a technologist from outside the country who brought an idea of a muddy patch road, where a road that can last 7 years as a muddy road, and rain can't penetrate it, it can't get damaged by anything, and the sample is beside the local government. So when we brought those guys in, my chairman was like, okay, let's test run with some roads in the Ojoko before we spread it. And that is a little bit cheaper, way cheaper than putting asphalt up. So these are the initiative my chairman brought, which I said that in all honesty I want to rate him, because if someone will say, I think you don't have money to fix the road, but the innovation to fix the road is there, and it's even cheaper than old vision. We brought that and engaged that person in, and he did fantastically well, and the road is still there.
So what you're saying in essence is that the present administration has come under pretty well. Now, what will you say of your relationship with the council chairman?
Very fantastic, because the help of the system is at the ends of affair of the chairman and the secretary, with the support of the legislative hand. If we are not in good time, we can't achieve this lot. If we are not doing well together, we can't achieve this lot. And you can hear noise about Ojoko, unlike before.
He will be stepping down in the next couple of weeks as the chairman of Ojoko.
Yeah.
But did this support your ambition to succeed him as a councillor?
Yes. And I will say this. The reason why you didn't see me go beyond that level is party decision. If party didn't put me here, I won't be here. So everybody cannot be chairman at the same time. But I knew very quite well that when I approached him, he gave his blessings, and he told us that all of you worked with me, I know you all. I can only give you my blessing, but I don't have the right and the power to install, because I also got the grace to as a party person. So he has spoken his mind, which is being diplomatic. So whoever say the chairman is not in support of my admission, maybe they're outside the wall. Just like some people will be outside the box and they want to discuss what is happening in the box. So I can tell you, he's being diplomatic, and he was in support of the ambition before I agreed to party decision.
Alright, so we'll be going on another short music break, and when we get back, you hear more from Ojulowo himself.
Ọjọ́ ìbí àná dàgbò òmìnira 1960 nígbà yẹn ti fífi gẹ̀gẹ̀ bọ́ ṣe rí tí kò ewé rí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rí àbẹ́ orí àgbà ẹ̀rí àbẹnujẹ ló fẹ́ gbà yí pẹ̀pẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ táná ní ìpọ̀pá ẹ̀yìn bá dàgbà pọ̀.
Yes, we welcome you back, the good people of Ifako, Lagos and Nigeria. The program remains People and Politics on Ifako Radio, situated here in Ifako, Jai, Lagos State. Maheselji, let's look at your journey, your ambition to emerge a council chairman. I tell people that care to listen, it is one thing to be a politician. It is another thing to be an aspirant within the political setting. Being an aspirant, the journey so far, are there challenges? Let's shy away from being a politician now. Are there special challenges for you being an aspirant?
Yes, absolutely. And nobody can shy away from that question. There are challenges when it comes to financing. our people have not really deviated from the money politics we talk about.
Maybe because they know you have the money.
It's not about the money. They want you to go and look for the money. That's why some people, like somebody told me in the past, go and look for definitely by his grace, with the support of my leaders. Okay. I don't know. It depends on what the dish into my plate. Okay. So with the support of my leader, definitely I know I've not failed them. And I've not failed the people of Ojokoro as a whole. And I've not failed the youth that I'm also representing in the system. So if the leaders feel that Kola is still good enough to rule, I'm ready to serve.
So the leaders in question, how do you relate with them? Is there cordiality?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I told you initially, it's everything is about interest. The fact that one leader is not supporting you doesn't mean that the leader will not support you for another role.
Sure.
So cordiality, it shouldn't be the question when it comes to politics.
Okay.
Because you can build a house for a leader and the leader is not even ready to support you. But the leader can say, mommy no. So I don't think there's a leader that will say that, okay, Kola, he has done this bad, he has done this bad, he has done this bad. I feel, because at already like I started with the conversation in the morning. So you won't see yourself or let the feelers from the town. But again, that cannot be the judge, the yardstick, the parameter to judge who you are.
All right. I while I was talking about your creative and innovative ability, I referenced what they said about you. In another light, that's a positive one. I want us to look at it from both sides.
Okay.
Talking about occupying public office, some people want to criticize you that you are moving outside the local government to go and source for strength, for support, so as to occupy a public office. Do you subscribe to that? Some people will say, "Oh, bile, no man say joba bile," and it is also ideal that the leaders within the community should come together and dictate who sits on what. But the situation whereby you decide to go external, some people tend to frown at that. How do you react?
Well, I want to know the definition of going external to source for power.
Okay.
Because it's relative. And it's well, I'll say it's relative because going out to source for power, I want to know what they mean by sourcing for power.
Okay. What I want to believe they mean is that you want to get a particular thing and there's probability you don't get it from within.
Okay.
So you want to use a force from outside that can influence their decision.
Okay. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Because I know leaders in the Ojokoro seats, they have their meetings and they've never even gotten to a stage where they say this is that, apart from the role of the chairman and the vice. So I'm not the chairman, I'm not the vice, which are elective posts. So if those two has gone and you didn't see me out there, then where have I gone to source for post? Every other position now are appointment positions.
Yes.
So if anything is appointment, so have I gone out to go and look for appointment that they find me somewhere? So the leaders
anyway, that is the essence of people and politics. You hear different things from people, and if there needs be or there's a platform to really hear your view, you definitely react and give a pleasant one. So moving forward, the forthcoming local government election, with what your administration, with what you've done, is there any assurance? And if there is, from 10 to 100, what figure will you say that your party is going to emerge?
If there is any rating above 100, I don't want to sugarcoat it. The reason why I don't want to sugarcoat it is that from the top down to the bottom, even other political parties have started joining us. If we didn't perform well, why are they joining us? Why are they decamping? Why are they going and coming back into the same party?
Well, I don't think that is happening at the local government level.
It is. If at least I can say very well of Ojokoro. Some months back, the Labour Party, their leaders, the youths, they joined us. PDP, that one is even we can't. I know of Ojokoro. You know, I can talk about my immediate environment. I know of Ojokoro. We don't even have stress. We don't have stress about other political parties.
So you're saying local government election will be at zero?
Over 100% if there's anything like that.
All right. So aside from Kola Tunes, How have you been able to give back to the community?
Okay, good. I have this initiative called Dream Foundation, established in the year 2008. I really don't want to talk much about personal, because that is me.
People want to hear.
Yes. In 2008, I established a body that's educational background for the less privileged when it comes to education. Okay. 2008 is called Dream Foundation. My first product, by special grace of God today, is in America, because all what we gave out then was a JAM and a little bit of part payment of school fees at OAU. Okay. In 2008. I can mention his name already because I'm bold enough to say it, because he's not also shy enough to project me anywhere.
Okay.
From there we picked to a lot of people who even assisted from schools. They are everywhere. If anybody come out to say it's not, I will come out on this radio again with my data, with my list and names and phone numbers, and we call them out here. You know, one thing about me is that I don't blow my trumpet. I want those out there to do so.
The beneficiaries.
So to do so. So that even started before Collaterals. Because at that time I was struggling in the industry. Okay, I was a jam. Let's give it to one or two people. Let's start this GCE tutorial. Let's put it all together, because I know the value of education and I don't want people to just stop halfway because of being disadvantaged.
Now let's look at your party, the All Progressive Congress. If you move around, the expectations of people have not really been met, and the extension, and people are not really comfortable. And I think this started way back from the time you assumed the office. I mean, your party assumed the presidency. If you are the president of the country, what are those things you want to set right? For the comfort and convenience of
in all honesty, the only thing I'm going to put right now is communication.
Okay.
And I'll tell you over. You know, if you invest in communication, you are in the field, you know what PR does. I think we've not really done well when it comes to the PR side of what we are doing good. You know, I was on social media some days, I saw one social influencer say, I
think I saw that.
I don't want to mention the name because of
I saw that.
You know, and you know, the moment I heard that, I called my wife. I said, how much is rice now? He said 52. Even though the person mentioned 54, my wife said, but he didn't even tell me that is the thing. Let's take it from home.
So charity begins from home.
So that is the thing. A lot of people cannot come out to say what I've been deprived of, I'm not enjoying it. That's why I said that communication have done it better. In the industry, there's something we could do, we call it voice pulse. Voice pulse, we go on the streets to let people know, we let to hear from the people, we record it, we push it on social media. And it looks like brands are even bigger than the country, and it's not so. You know, when brands are struggling to fight for number 1 seat in Nigeria, and Nigeria will be struggling lesser than brands because of communication and strategy. These are the things that we need to invest more as a nation, because the government has done well, bold enough to say, okay, subsidy, I want to take it off. And this is the impact. We know what local governments and states receive in the past. It's like ×5 now. That's the communication we need. So that it will look like a status quo. What did they we see Ipada. If there is no Ipada, let's know who the cause of there is no Ipada. Because it's a renewed hope. If it's a renewed hope, we need to let them know that we promised you this. It's not that we just tell them today and not talk tomorrow. That's why we need to invest heavily in communication.
All right, Ojulo will be going on a very short music break, and why you call yourself Ojulo?
No, it's for the house today. Secondly, about my children. It will be funny enough, the person that's interested in politics is the person at least I believe that should be is my daughter.
Wow.
Just 13. But anytime I just go out, I see a chat telling me that after I buy your meeting today, I read in the news that Ashwaji is doing that like. And if I ask a brother the same question, that one doesn't even know what is happening. You get it now. So it's not about we force them, because it's in the lineage. we ensure that, okay, let them choose their own path.
But you're going to encourage any child.
Of course, because I just told you earlier that politicians are the one planning, designing policies that is running business and economies in Nigeria. So I wish away from it. People in the House of Rep discussing politics, discussing economy. People in the Senate designing strategy, charting way forward for Nigerian economy. And we want to say we want to leave it for them. Maybe that is the area we need to really educate our people. And a lot of people were like, okay, it's affecting their business, is this. We eventually found out that it was hijacked by those that are not really needed, that didn't want to complain about the economy and some other hardship. It was hijacked by the non-entities. I will use that word because eventually somebody told me, you are not joining there. Is it because you are the son of a politician? Don't worry, we'll come back to burn your dad's house. You know, it's a revolution. It's going to catch up with you. And I sat down with some professionals that who says we can't defend our businesses in our environment? If we shy away from what these people are doing, they will think we are not part of them. But stylishly, we can use that moment to defend our businesses. Because in the first week of that, they started destroying shops. Burglary. They're doing a lot of things out there. Oh, is that okay? You're a barber. You are a teacher.
What do we say should be the fate of those that have no fathers and relatives in politics and they want to represent?
Well, number one thing is that you need to participate actively. And I don't believe in that ideology of installing, because anything that happens as internal politicking shouldn't be a deadline in public. And I want to say this: anything can happen internally in a political terrain. You can say, okay, the way it is now, all of you cannot be chairman at the same time.
Sure.
So if you now say, I know they agree, I know they agree, a lot of I know they agree, and then they go another party. And then the way you now go there, they will not tell you, we line up people there. So if you failed over there, you want to come back again, you don't want to queue. Some of us have actually been here. In 2002, I know what happened. Reason why I didn't clinch that councillorship ticket. And I saw the growth of that person. I had a father then now. Then, even before that 2002, my dad contested for chairmanship under GDM. He didn't win. But he didn't use that moment to install me as councillor. So people should not really project this word and they are installing their children, they are installing. Okay, tell me one person in Ojokoro today. One person in Ojokoro today that is there because his father installed him. His chairman installed because
that seems to be the style in your party.
That's what people say. You talk about our lineage now. As we speak now, one of my cousins is the vice chairmanship aspirant and a candidate for Ikeja. Abisola Omishore.
The Omishore is
actually. So what I'm trying to say is that is what is in the blood. If you participate, and he has been playing in politics for ages. When the time came, it's not that this is his first time he's contesting in Ikeja now.
So what you're saying in essence is that they should be actively involved.
If you're actively,
and so now the time will come.
Because we have it's God. It's God appointed time we are dealing with. You can be chosen today, even the ruling party will lose. It happened in Osun State now. The ruling party was there, eventually we lost to a dancer. It shows that it's not about we are there, we can install.
A dancing governor that is doing well. On the final note, since you're from Osun State, should we be looking at Kola Omishore on the governorship seat of Osun sooner or later?
The future will decide that. And I don't jump the gun. And that's why we are here. If you live in an environment, your impact is not felt. Why do you want to go and claim the glory of that environment? So Ojokoro and Lagos environment knows that they grew me to this level. Everything about me, born bred here, schooling here, married here, resident here, it's all about Ojokoro and it's all about Lagos. And more reason, I have to ensure that Lagos also enjoy what they have invested in me.
Okay. So what will you say to those that showed interest in your party the same way you contested and didn't get the ticket? How will you approach?
Number one is,
because we understand the fact that a lot of people came out I think for the first time in Ojokoro, we record that, and you have just a single seat. There is no doubt, one way or the other, you must have stepped on toes, trade banters. But now, you did not just have the party candidate, but she now happened to be a woman. So, how do you console or advise your co-contestants?
Number one is we need to learn politics by studying the handwriting on the wall. Number two is that less of agitation. If you know your party blueprints, you know the manifesto, you know the rules that guide your party. Less of agitation. We've seen in the past a lot of this.
But you know, some people don't like that. So some supporters will not even be comfortable. Is that we thought you had a better chance, and that is why we're following you. So you settle for dialogue and you chicken out.
If you permit me to go back the memory lane, in 2021, when we were asked to step down for the incumbent because he has done well, let him continue the good work. I approached my team. They disagree because they are a bunch of youths from the NSAS products, the youths that are really not well grounded in politics.
They came for you.
They came for me. They are like, oh, you want to fail us? I know a lot of people left me because of that. But I gathered some people. I said, look, growth in politics is not one day growth. It's like a childbirth to university level to getting married to establish its own metamorphosis into something else. Some of them found reason in what I said, and they are still with me today. And now they've understood what politics stood for. So they can, if you know your followers, then if they are not borrowed followers, money can borrow followers for you. So if money borrow followers for you, they will do what you didn't send them. Like I told a boy some days, I found him, I said, I saw you with placard. You're saying you don't install your son over us. He's a friend. And I stopped him and said, no, I bus stop once a week. Man, show placard to Bedani. He now said, one placard down lower. Can't want to pan fair. Am I going to lorry? Eventually, he's a friend crying a placard against me.
And he agreed to that.
He agreed to that because it's money driven. 1.5. And that is all. He has returned back to his base. And he will be the one saying that the party is not done where they have done rubbish to us. So these are the things that if you should know, even the Bible says, I don't want to go to one of the holy books, says, right. So if you don't know the followers, they will misbehave, they will put you into problems with your leaders. So the best thing is that come back home, the way it is now, we need to go back to the drawing table. Okay, let our parties find reason why they deem not fit for another role. Like I told you when you said it has gone, you say, okay, maybe I'm driving. Oh, there's a lot of things. Is there no state appointment? Is there no federal appointment? Is there no international appointments? Is there no community appointments? So why are we killing ourselves or fighting the cause of one seat?
Yes, Nigerians, Lagos, and the good people of Ifako. You have here with us Honorable Kola Mishore, LCLG, Ojokoro local government. And what he's saying in essence is that there is so much that can always go around. All you need to do is to exercise patience and told the party line. Those are words. Honorable, we want to appreciate you especially for coming to Ifako Radio, People and Politics, and we want to believe when next we call on you, you also are heed to the call of the good people of Ifako Jaye. And that has been the program for today, People and Politics on Ifako Jaye. But you have
yes, on the party notes, yes. I love to correct some things when I get out, because the reason why we're in politics as professionals is to correct some things. I don't like to be addressed as honorable, because we are not one. The word honorable has been abused on the streets, and we know who honorable is. Maybe it's going to be a discussion for another day, but I love to be addressed as Comrade Omishore Kolajo, because I've never been honorable. I am never won. A councillor is not honorable. I never won. But there's going to be a day we'll come back to sit down to discuss this.
If you tell a councillor now that is not an honorable member, I'm afraid you may have to answer several questions.
Maybe a councillor has not visited the chamber. We've gone there that they will ask you your name. Even the chairman of the government cannot add honorable to the name because we are not. The reason why a rep is rep, that a senator is a senator, is the reason why a councillor is a councillor. So they should be addressed as councillor so.
So I want to talk about they are also listening now. So when next we stumble on them, or peradventure they are here, and we don't refer them as one, I hope they won't be bad blood.
Refer them to the dictionary.
All right, we've all been corrected now by the secretary to the local government of Ojokoro, Comrade Kola Omishore. So thank you so much for joining us. And Ifako Radio remains here and will always be here to attend to your yearnings, your intents, and the people you want to listen to will always want to be here to bring them on so that we can continue to thrive as one local government. Once again, we congratulate the children. We say Happy Children's Day to each and every one of them, and we appreciate Nigerians, Lagosians, and the good people of Ifako to partner with us here on Ifako Radio, situated at Abanikonda Street, 8 Abanikonda, Ifako Jai, Lagos State. And we part to be here, same program, same time, next week, God's willing. I remain yours truly, Olanureti Olusegun, the mayor of Lagos City. Special thanks to my producer, Olanureti Ololade, who has been on the wheel to ensure that this is a success. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Thank you.